Ready for some idiots talking about shit? Here is Justin, Tony, Destin, Andy, and maybe upside down Tommy. It's BACC Talk.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of BACC Talk. We're so happy to have you with us, joining us on another episode. Can't thank you guys enough for tuning in every week and listening to us babble about some bullshit. As usual, we got all three jackasses back this week. Mr. Moo is back this week. We're going to start with Justin. Justin, what's up? How was your 2 weeks, and how was the cow milking?
It was pretty good. I have effects on my voice. Sorry about that. It was good. I enjoy milking cows, and milking cows is what I do. And one might say that it is utterly fantastic.
Well, on that, let's get this party started. Tits up, everybody.
Milk a cow if you can.
So you were out milking cows and taking pictures of babies, from what I understand. Or was it taking pictures with babies?
It was father-daughter kind of thing at Chick-fil-A. So a nice classy evening with your daughter a day or two after Father's Day. You guys have Chick-fil-A where you're at?
Yeah. It doesn't have fucking Chick-fil-A.
You know they're closed on Sunday, so they can't really do a Father's Day thing. They do it late or early. So they got us to do it. We take pictures. We bring a photo booth out, and yeah, it's pretty exciting. Exciting stuff. So I couldn't come to the podcast because it was right at that exact time. So I apologize.
So when you did that, were you dressed in a cow suit?
No, although I was upset because I would have done it if they said, "Can you put this on?" I'd be like, "Yeah." I mean, I pretend they'd have to convince me, but they wouldn't have to convince me.
Why can I see that's correct? So, what about the rest of your 2 weeks? You injure yourself at all? You have a tendency to injure yourself. And for everybody who's not on the YouTube right now, listen to us on Apple or Spotify or something like that. Justin's in a new spot again. Looks like a closet, but he's got a picture of a cat shitting, reading a newspaper.
Yeah. Yep. It's worth the look if you're not on YouTube already.
So you got a story behind that picture, or?
Yeah. My brother-in-law had me sent that from Amazon because I used to do something in this very spot on Thursdays when the COVID was happening, and I said, if you guys want to send me money or gifts, I said something stupid like send me anything with cats on it, and then that came in the mail, and I hung it up. So
nice.
So you can mention stuff on this podcast that you might want people to send you, and they might actually send it to you. So
I mean, then you'd have to give out your address.
yeah, well, in this case, the person that heard me knew already where I lived. And, well, at least to reach those people, to be like, I know where he lives, and I could buy him this thing. I'll have it sent to him.
We're gonna have to get a P.O. box. People send us dumb shit.
Yes. Oh my god, that's the next step, dude. We gotta have a P.O. box by next week. It costs money. How much does a P.O. box cost these days?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Never looked into that one.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what people can email us about.
Yeah. How much is a P.O. box? Maybe we got some postal workers out there listening. They could
Or maybe
hook us up.
Maybe you have people that have experience having post boxes, and they can shed some light on their life.
And we'd have to get a big one because we have no idea what people will be sending us, right?
Yeah, and if memory serves correct, I used to work at a bank, and they run a lot the same idea of in the vaults when they have safe deposit boxes. So I can pretty much guess the sizes that you could get because I think it's like the same idea. There's about 6 different safe deposit box sizes. I don't know if you guys know that. In a typical bank.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that based on how much money you have, I suppose?
Oh yeah. It goes up. I think the highest one was like 208. Which isn't a lot if you think about it.
No, but hell, it costs money just to host this damn podcast. You know that. I think it was $180 a year.
Damn.
So yeah.
So you want to get into the You want to get into the YouTube thing or what?
We'll get into the YouTube thing here in a minute, but Maybe we'll have everybody fucking send emails to YouTube. But we'll get into that in a minute. Dustin, Mr. Money Guns, what's up? How was your week? What'd you do?
You kind of cut out there, Andy. I think you were asking how my week was. But, yeah, it was a good week. Had our local racetrack, had a couple fights break out. Always interesting. Had a wedding Saturday. Actually ran into a fan of the podcast. Shout out to you out there. You know, it was good talking to you. Email us and let us know what you think about the show. I mean, I always have fun. It'd be nice to contact with you again. But yeah,
was this a male or a female listener?
It was a female.
I wonder, did she happen to be a stripper or OnlyFans?
Didn't touch that far. We only talked for like 10 minutes, but she was having a good time. I know that. I mean, we drank a lot of tequila. I can tell you that.
Did it make her clothes fall off? Because that's the question too.
Maybe later for her boyfriend. I don't know. Not for me. Not for me.
Well, how about that? You're running into random ass people who go, "You're the guy from the podcast."
Yeah, she loves the show. Loves listening to us idiots talk all the time. She says we bring up good topics, and she loves listening to it. I told her you got to watch it too. You know, you got to see our, start watching it more too. But I gave her some downloads too. But she enjoys the show. She told me she's on the road a lot, so she just finds random podcasts, and she ran into us, and she loves it. She listens every week.
Oh, that's great.
Very cool. Very cool. That's awesome.
I do
Tell me.
Podcasts, by the way, just to interject real quick. I ride my bike and I just find shit that people are talking,
Yep.
You kind of want that in some moods when you're doing certain things.
Yeah. When I'm working and I'm driving a lot when I'm working, and I listen to a lot of talk, like talk radio, NASCAR radio, wrestling stuff. I mean, it gets old listening to the same, we don't have great music channels or stations where we are, so I got XM, but they're on a loop, right? So you get tired of hearing the same shit over and over again. You can only listen to like your Apple iTunes so much too, so it just gets too repetitive. So I listen to different talk shows and shit too.
I went a week without Sirius XM radio, and I went crazy in my car. Like I gotta get it back.
I couldn't do it around here. It's so garbage around here.
Yeah, terrestrial radio is what you're saying. The thing where it's like there if you want it, and we haven't changed anything. Yeah, they revamped a lot of Philly stations, or at least 3 that I could think of. They're all like having like new call letters, like not same call letters, I mean, but like a new like attitude. I love when they do that, where it's like J1072, and you're like, no, you guys used to play jazz.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could probably remember and probably were into the DRE days back in Philly.
What was that? I'm sorry, I remember.
The DRE 1039 DRE.
Oh yeah, what did they do? They did like a lot of.
That was like your underground punk and rock and like that. Not as much as your mainstream. They would play. I mean, back in the early days, they'd be the ones playing Green Day before anybody's playing Green Day. You know what I mean?
Right, you're right. And Deftones and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember.
And then they went to rap or something.
And then there was always Y100, which like a lot of like pinheads like Y100 because it was like they towed the line pretty well.
Yeah.
Like they play some good ones. Like some bands could be good. Like they just happened to play them. It was more one of those things. They weren't a good station that played good stuff. They just happened to play good stuff every once in a while.
But they also brought Preston and Steve.
Oh, you like them, huh?
Oh, you gotta love Preston and Steve if you're from Philly.
Yeah, I never really took to them. I didn't really have a commute or anything, like where I listened to them when they were on. And I know now you can backtrack a lot of their stuff, but I just was never. I know they're in It's Always Sunny a lot. They're big fans of them, so
yeah.
I don't hate them. I just didn't listen to them.
And speak
Opie and Anthony either. So.
Well, see, I didn't listen to much Opie and Anthony. I did listen to some. Now there is a guy, and I don't remember. Kid Chris. Have you heard of Kid Chris?
I heard of him. Yeah, I can't think of.
I think he's out in New York, but he's syndicated now on some different stations. He's pretty good. But talking about Philly radio, the Philadelphia sports radio landscape has changed big time here in the last 2 weeks. I know it's probably something you don't listen to, Justin, but Mike Missinelli was the big sports talk guy, probably one of the biggest in Philadelphia for a decade or more. Afternoon drive, and he just up and quit.
What was he? KYW? Was he like? What was he?
He was 97.5 when they changed over to the Fan. Because remember, 97.5 used to be a good rock station too.
Yeah, it used to have like a lot of pretty good music on there. You know.
Yeah, but yeah, it was 610 WIP on the AM. He was there first, and then he went over to 97.5 when they turned into Sports Talk. But yeah, that landscape has changed quite a bit. It's not going to be the same without him. I can tell you that, because it's probably the name in sports talk in Philadelphia. So there's some other good ones out there, Angelo Cataldi and some others, but really he was the name.
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah, it's like we gotta go back to Tony because he was just doing this weird thing with his mouth. Like he looked like.
Yeah, he's like, I haven't fucking said a word yet. We've been running for 15, 20 minutes. I haven't said a fucking word. But that's pretty.
Times,
yeah, it's pretty normal. And Tony doesn't say fucking much. But Tony, what's up? How's your week?
It was good. Short week for work, so yeah, and then went and saw a Reds game on Thursday, which they got blown out by the Dodgers, 10-5. So yeah, I watched Freddie Freeman, take 1 yard for a 3-run shot, and gosh, somebody else took 1 yard for the Dodgers. But yeah, it was a rough game. Hunter Green got roughed up pretty bad. So then after that, went down to the annual golf trip. And yeah, had that this weekend, so
well, you gotta tell us about that. Since the best golfer of the year last year wasn't there, you gotta give us a little bit of insight on how boring the trip was this year.
Oh no, it was a great trip.
Oh, sure
it was nice and quiet. Oh,
that's what you want on a fucking golf trip.
So how did you golf?
How did I golf? Man, so it's unbelievable. Friday, first round, I shot a 97, which, it's pretty normal for me. I suck. So, and then I won second place with the team Friday evening. And then Saturday, I shot lights out for an 87 for me. It was, I had my first 4 holes. I had a couple blow-ups. And then after that, it was just straight pars and birdies for an 87. So it was one of the best rounds I've ever had. So it was a pretty good day.
It's the fucking easiest course we ever played, too, by the way.
It is. It was very
Oh, you guys played together.
I didn't play this year. I was booted, because I was too good.
That's right, because you beat him, right?
Yeah. So how many shit talkers were there?
Not really none. I mean, it was just the normal group. We only had 10 of us this year, so it keeps dwindling down a little bit every year. But it was just your normal guys, and there was one new guy this year, so he was pretty good to play with. It was a good time. It was hot as hell, though. Oh my gosh, 90-degree plus, and standing out in the sun all day. So
that sounds like a blast. Having no fun, because God forbid you beat somebody and have some beers. So did you beat anyone with your 87? Because
I did.
Did you beat anybody with the initials DS?
I did.
He's not invited next year.
You're not back. You're not allowed back. But he probably kicked your ass the rest of the weekend, so.
Yeah, I'm sure he did on Sunday with his partner, so because he had Eugene, so he had the beast.
Nice. Well, that sounds like not a lot of fun. I have been thinking, though, because this time of year, late July, or July and August, Michigan is a phenomenal place for for golfing, Northern Michigan, in the summer. So I think BACC Talk might have to have a golf outing next year in the summertime.
BACC Talk open.
up in Michigan. See if there's any ringers out there and come out and beat Tony in his 87. I mean, it's all right. I mean, I shot a 73 on that course, but
How many strokes weren't counted? How many of your strokes weren't counted?
I count them all, buddy. I count them all.
Even the foot wedges?
I don't have no foot wedges. Tony knows my game. If I'm on, I'm on.
But if you're off, you're off.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's me. I'm off. I don't play golf. That's my new song.
Tony's also the only one. Brendan's seen me do it, but seen me hit a big old on purpose banana draw up and over the trees, put the shit on the green. So shit happens when you're good. But
Well, if you land in the fairway, you don't need to do that stuff.
no, I know. I mean, I hit a terrible drive into the wrong fairway and had to go over trees in order to get there. And the only way to get there also was because the slice took off so much of the yardage was to hit a big old, and I think I was too close to the trees or something, wasn't I, Tony? That I had to go out and over the trees. So, yeah. Put it on the green. Walked away with a bird, I think. So,
Is that good?
I mean, if you like poultry. So, I got something that's pissing me off.
Surprise.
I know you're all fucking
Surprise.
Do you need,
Man.
do you need some theme notes for when you're pissed off?
Yeah, if you got some of those.
I'm thinking like dark and low. What do you guys think?
Yeah, you got something for us, Justin? I mean, can you...
Yeah, I'm thinking dark and low for your mean. What are your pissed off mode, right?
Yeah.
Pissed off mode?
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't do anything.
No,
You guys should
we've...
see how embarrassing that looked. I pushed those keys down with vigor like it was going to sound like something and ended up being nothing. You hear that?
Yeah. Like, you need to go don, 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 or something. Yeah, there we go.
Pissed off.
Yeah. So I'm pissed off about something. Thank you. So,
Now they know.
anybody who's watching on the YouTube, obviously, you can see our number of subscribers we have. We get lots and lots of views, not only from this, but some other stuff that we put on the YouTube channel. We meet all the criteria for YouTube as far as monetizing. 3 fucking times I've submitted to be monetized on this YouTube channel. And 3 times have come back and denied us, saying we're reusing shit. Now, what the fuck am I reusing when this is our fucking podcast? Justin writes the opening music and the closing music. Now he's writing my pissed off music.
I mean, those chords might have been used in that way, but that's an original. I composed that in the second.
Right.
Maybe
So
the original song is derivative of something, and I didn't realize I ripped it off. That's possibly true.
But I mean, like, I don't fucking understand YouTube. So I'm getting to the point where we may pull the show from YouTube and go to another video platform because, like we said, before, shit costs money. Like, it ain't free to put on a podcast, right? We ain't asking for people to send us money, just watch and listen. But if we can't get nothing out of the platforms we're putting it on, I guess we need to go to another platform.
Well, starting next week, we're going to ask them to send us not money to our safe box.
Yeah, well, not next week because I think we've discussed this without your consent.
We gotta get some intel from Safe Deposit Box owners. I'm sorry. Mailbox. I
It'll be
P.O.
in
box.
P.O. box, but it'll be in 2 weeks. We'll have that P.O. box because I think we decided when you were off mooing and milking cats and shit, and people that you. I think we're gonna take the July 4th holiday off
Okay.
instead of try to squeeze that in when we're all shit faced and blowing each other up. So
What day is it? Is that on the 4th?
it is the 4th
Monday
is
is the 4th.
Monday, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, and I think just about everybody knows we record this shit on Monday, so I think we're going to take it off. But anyway, I'm pissed off. Anybody knows any good... I'm pissed off, Justin. Anybody knows any good video platforms out there that we should move this to? Give us a heads up. Let us know, because...
There's Vimeo.
Yeah, there's that one, and there's Daily Motion as well.
Are you
So we'll
familiar
see.
with Are you familiar with any Patreons out there, or like how they work? Because I've never visited one, but I know they have stuff on there, right?
Yeah, that gives you, usually access to some behind-the-scenes videos or something like that, which is...
That's like a paid subscription, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's paid subscription no matter what. Like you can't put it on there and then just
Yeah.
for $0.
Yeah, that's
Right.
paid subscription.
So I'm trying to find loopholes. It's like right now.
And that's all we're asking. We're asking people to watch, listen, and share, right? And speaking of sharing, we had this conversation last week. And while you were out mooing again, but
We talk about how it's caring.
caring? Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring.
Is that what you guys were discussing? How it's
Yeah.
caring?
Sharing is caring. And our fucking president and how we need to fucking impeach him. Okay, so we called him out for not sharing the podcast as the president. And guess what he didn't do this week?
He did not share the podcast.
He did not share the fucking podcast. He made a backpack fan page, something or other. It invited everybody who's already following us on Facebook. I guess we made fun of him too much for his 2 emails. He didn't even email us once. So, Mr. President Cockhair, did you even listen to the fucking podcast last week? Because we need to know. I mean, the possible vice president, Tickle Dick, I know he did, for a fact, listen to the podcast. So, and we'll get into that here in a second. But what should we do about President Cockhair?
Oh yeah. Well, I watched and I I don't know. I say what was it? Is it a stalemate right now? How do you guys vote?
We haven't voted. We haven't started the impeachment process yet.
Can we
Yeah.
just take a vote? I mean,
I think we gotta start the impeachment process and see if he gets better during this process.
Yeah, I mean, we have to. It doesn't have to be like hearings and shit first before we vote.
hear ye, hear ye. Is this the first hearing?
Yeah.
This is the
So
first hearing.
This is the first hearing, so everybody gets their arguments about President Cockhair and whether they think he's a good president for the backpack or if he should be removed from office.
Right. Well, I'll go first. To make the backpack fan page, it's kind of like that's cool and all, but like you said, people already know us as on there.
Yeah, I didn't see very many new people.
Right. So that's just like I don't know, but that doesn't.
I mean, it's cool because now the people listening, you can go on to the backpack fan page. I don't even know what the fuck it's called. And I'll tell you here in a minute, but you can at least anybody who's on it can actually go on and make posts now, right? You can make your own posts versus our podcast page where it's only a week in post. So
He made it he made it 5 days ago, and the last post was 5 days ago.
Okay, so Dustin, you obviously have it up, so you might as well tell all the listeners in case they want to join it because they haven't been invited by Cockhair. What is the name of the page?
BACC Talk Podcast Backpack.
Okay.
It's a tongue twister.
God.
That's gotta go.
Might as well call it BTPBP.
Can we have a hearing right? Can we have a hearing right now to find on a better name we could suggest?
So anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Justin.
The back.
You were yeah, backpack. The backpack. Backpack
Like
back
backpack.
yeah.
That's it. And if you don't know, you don't know.
And I mean, when you're just inviting everybody who's already following the fan page, there's really nobody new, and you're not even on your personal page, sharing the podcast and say, "Hey, I enjoy this. I listen to it every week. Check it out."
Maybe he was embarrassed. Maybe he was embarrassed because he's on the latest episode that he didn't share.
But he wasn't on last week's episode and didn't share that one. So
I don't know. Maybe he is embarrassed because he came on there with a freaking mullet. So maybe that's what it was. He got embarrassed. Somebody probably commented, about his mullet.
all you gotta do is look at his Facebook page. He's got pictures of himself in it. So
Mullet doesn't make you the worst person, but yeah, I already hate you, and the mullet's being talked about.
So, Justin, continue your argument on whether we should move to impeach or why he's good for president.
I don't think we should be stringent on him. He was an early fan. He went out of his way to send emails or send a clip before there was an email. So, kind of gave us the idea maybe we needed emails to come in. So, I think if anything, we were a little too flippant in choosing a president so fast. So so that kind of plays into impeachment too. Like, wow, whoops, okay, we want to go back. We're not going to fire you, but we could call it impeachment. I don't know. I have arguments for both. But as it stands right now, I say, nah. Nah. Yeah, maybe the impeachment process will help him help us see that he's better. So maybe, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to fire him. Does that make sense?
Yet. You're not looking to fire him yet.
Right. I really don't know what impeachment means, but if it's like what Dustin said, it's like...
It's removal from office.
Right, but he's saying to start the process would be like a fire under his ass, and I agree with that. You can see once those proceedings proceed, you can see if he does anything differently.
Well, they are proceeding. Today is the opening arguments. So
The opening argument, yeah.
Well, I've made mine, man. He's the first one, so.
all right, Tony, make your argument for or to move to impeach.
All right, so I'm going to agree with, Justin on partial issues that we've talked about. I agree that we, kind of jumped in and said, hey, you're president. Should have had a vote. Should have said, hey, rack up the fans and see which one's the top. So I kind of agree that, we're maybe jumping to a little bit of, conclusion, saying, hey, you suck, and you make up this little Facebook page that takes, 20 minutes for you to even say the title because it's 1,000,000 words long.
No denying.
But whatever. So I'm half on that side. We're going to keep you for a little bit. But then my other half is, is baseball terminology. Hey, you're 0-1, so you got one strike. 2 more to go.
How many balls?
I think if you get to 3, then you're out.
I don't know if he has any balls.
He's definitely got cock hair.
He's got cock hair, maybe on his balls, maybe. But
You got to have balls to share the podcast.
You do. You gotta have balls to even.
And then is he mad at us because we talked about impeaching him last week that he didn't even bother to email us?
I like the misdirect because when I saw the name of the episode, I read into it. I saw impeach the president, which you definitely intended for a misdirect there. You know me in the politics talk. Like, I don't want to be seen, heard, whatever, talking politics to a certain degree. And I was like, wow. Like, just seeing the name, like, on YouTube when it popped up, like, I was ready to listen to it. I was like, good thing I sat this one out. I'm like, I do not want to have an opinion about that. Talking about President Cochran, I'm like, oh, phew. You know?
Maybe that's why the numbers shot up this week.
They got to beat the president. Now they're all mad at us.
You gotta keep doing that. You gotta be like fucking Paris Hilton in the next episode, and like somebody's like fucking Paris Hilton, and it's like you end up saying fucking Paris Hilton. She's so rich. Just keep doing shit like that.
You never know what's gonna show up on this podcast, do you? I mean, we're gonna have a stripper. That's happening. Talk to the stripper. It's gonna happen. Probably after the 4th of July holiday, but the stripper is happening. You weren't. Oh, did you? Were you? You were not here for the stripper conversation either.
No, but I watched.
We have a stripper.
Oh, yeah, I watched the episode.
Who wants to strip?
Fire.
Oh yeah.
Sapphire? Was it? I don't remember.
Scarlet.
Scarlet.
Scarlet. Yeah,
She emailed us.
Right, but where's she from? Like, do you know her? Did you see like her ads?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen a picture or nothing. We don't know what we're getting into. But it's a stripper.
Can't be on YouTube.
Excuse me.
How much
You don't know anything. You haven't seen her or nothing.
No.
Man, I hope it's not President Cochran.
President Cochran made a different email address to get us going.
Well, now that Justin has let on to the audience of how I name our podcast, now people are going to say the stripper is here and think it's President Cochran.
Right. Yeah.
I guarantee you, it is not President Cochran. How's that sound?
Okay. Good.
No, that's good.
Or Vice President Tickledick. So.
Oh, okay. All right. I was worried.
That's really good.
Yeah. So, Dustin, time for your argument for or to start the impeachment process.
I think we start the impeachment process, but we give him these 2 weeks because we'll be off next week. He'll hear this, so he's gonna have 2 weeks. He's got to prove to us that he wants to be president. Not just a Facebook group, but we need him to share. We need him to reach out and try to get us some new fans. That's what the president does. He's like our fan club, you know. He's got to get us more fans. So reach out, get more people in there, and then I think it's more of a discussion in 2 weeks. But let's give him this chance. He's got 2 weeks to prove us wrong that he can be president.
Okay, that's fair enough.
But I think we start it. We start the process.
I think we start the process. And so here's going to be my argument, okay? I've had private conversations with Cochran about it. You know, just in, you know, as friendly conversation. Not beating him down or saying, you know, hey, you got to do this. It was like, but, you know, this is what we would kind of expect or whatever. He received 2 BACC Talk t-shirts. He sent me a picture of both, not on them, but a picture of both shirts that he received them. I've yet to see a picture of him wearing one on Facebook.
Yeah.
So is he actually proud of the podcast? And proud to be the president of the podcast? Because to me, you're not proving that.
So maybe one thing we can ask is that the cover page of his BACC Talk podcast, BACC Talk, whatever his thing is, backpack, the Facebook group, maybe the cover page needs to be him wearing one of them shirts.
Yeah, or, you know, at minimum, like you gotta share. You know, all of us are sharing the podcast on our personal pages, right? See it every week. How's our president not doing that? My wife's sharing it. Your wife's sharing it. We got people sharing it all over the place. People we don't know are sharing it. Said that last week. But our president is not.
Plus, he's got 2 shirts, so he could be like putting that on other people going on like a tour.
Yeah, right? Go find, I think he drives truck or something. Like, on your next stop.
He could be wearing those working, yeah.
On your next stop, find a good-looking chick. And say, hey, would you model this shirt real quick? Take a fuck picture. Mm-hmm. Which reminds me of our first BACC Talk t-shirt winner who sent us that email about running out of the strip bar. I haven't seen a picture of that one in a fucking t-shirt yet either. So that's disappointing.
That should be the Facebook community page, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, put your pictures of your fucking your shit you get from us up on the.
Not in a weird like everybody in a cult kind of way. Just like in a I wear the shirt because I like it.
Right, but I'm in the cult of BACC.
Cult of BACC.
The BACC. Yeah. So I don't know. To me, I am moving to start impeachment process, and the way I want to start the impeachment process is, I think, possibly in our return show after the holiday, is to have a debate with Cockhair and Tickle Dick.
Oh boy.
We have a debate, and they could have a presidential debate.
Or somebody else. Somebody.
Yeah, if somebody else would step up to the plate and be, take over presidency or become president, come in and have a debate. And then, then we could have a fair and balanced vote based on the debate, right?
So it's almost like our impeachment is like a little bit of like
a re-election.
Yeah, like we didn't really
recall vote or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, so like it's almost like they could come in and be like, this is a time for everybody to jump in and have the ring. And then if he still makes a good argument as the best president, he remains. But we're thinking like, why weren't you president to begin with? Then they obviously win.
So we could have a presidential debate, and we could put up a poll on the Facebook page, and people can vote for who's president.
On the long-winded named page that nobody will ever find because it's back.
Well, we could do it. We could do that
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious backpack.
We could do that on our Facebook page.
Tickle Dick / Cockhair.
Have a formal vote.
Did you say bigtitties.com?
I said GeoCities.
Oh, I heard bigtitties.com. I'm sorry.
You're always hearing big titties.
Yeah, well.
And it would be .com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Surprised, going back to what you guys said, because I missed a little bit of it. I wouldn't jump into too much of the conversation here, but just wanted to say it's weird that porn industry online at least hasn't come up with .com. You just go to anything.com. But just like .gov is like government, .net is.
Yeah, I don't know how you start an
.edu
extension.
is cool.
I don't know how you start an extension, so I don't know anything about.
Andy, first you get her to take her top off.
Oh, okay. So maybe
you're trying to go to the dark web.
Maybe we start that, and the first website would be back.com, and it's all just it's cum shots on the back, I guess.
It's cum shots of people that have been backed up for so long.
Yeah. Or it could be all the the girls wearing their BACC Talk t-shirts, flipping their titties to us. I mean, it could be whatever. I mean, send those in the email, by the way. I'm okay with seeing your boobs, but we won't put them on YouTube because we're already on thin ice, I suppose, with YouTube. So we don't want to get kicked off. But
we'll make an OnlyFans page.
Well, yeah, or we'll just, yeah. That sounds like a plan.
they have only talk, you know, like you don't want to be dirty, like you know,
Only talk.
onlytalk.com.
Now that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Who doesn't want to be dirty?
No, we can be dirty, but talking, you know, like, we don't have, like, it can't be just for strippers, you know, and people that didn't listen to ASMR. Like, it could be for us, too, that just want to talk. You know, at the bare minimum, one of us has to have, like, our shirt off. Or, like, you know, cut off, sleeve. Some stuff.
Well, I know, you, for some reason, you want to be the naked one on the podcast.
I would be if there had to be.
Well, I'm still.
What, Tony? You want to be naked on the podcast, too?
Nope, that's a negative. I was thinking that's Justin's deal because that's what he always talks about.
Secretly, unsecretly.
Are you a nudist?
Are you even wearing pants?
I am wearing pants. Shorts.
All right, let's make sure.
Boxers. He's wearing boxers.
I'm wearing briefs. All right, I am wearing briefs. Okay, look, the briefs are over there on the couch, but they're closed. All right.
All right, so speaking of this OnlyFans and all that, we got 2 emails this week that were directed towards that question.
What is OnlyFans?
Yes, we don't know, right? So we get one from a listener named Lori. I haven't had one since 2020. But I could probably explain the lure of it and how things work for me. So it sounds like a possible guest, and that's what we were looking for. We were looking for a guest to come on here and explain this OnlyFans thing to us. So while I have you guys here and we're talking elections, shall we elect to bring Lori on as a guest to BACC Talk and tell us about OnlyFans?
Yeah, I think so. Why not?
Justin?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I know what OnlyFans is.
Maybe he could educate us.
Yeah, have you had one, or do you subscribe to them?
No to both questions. There would be no reason for me to be on one because, you know, it's for women that take their clothes off that aren't strippers yet or prostitutes yet.
Yet. I like the yet in there. Yet.
It's almost like a stepping stone where there used to not be one, or I don't know what, but I guess some strippers like were on there, kind of like how some cab drivers became Uber drivers, but like it wasn't invented for anything other than I can make money on the internet if I take off from lonely guys that don't realize they don't have to pay for this.
So are you a paid subscriber on OnlyFans?
No, I don't really use porn, and I wouldn't use it that way either because I don't know.
You don't
I
use
guess if
porn?
I guess if I heard that somebody I graduated with had become an OnlyFans, I might be curious because you know there's that level of like sort of knowing these people instead of like.
What if it was the hot girl down the street from you, 2 doors down?
The girl next door.
Oh well, I don't think she'd be the girl next door anymore. You know, like in that term, because you know, she's just like every other slut. I don't know, but like.
Sorry, Lori.
No, that's fine. She knows. Okay, cool. Have fun.
They going to the,
what?
Are they going to the strip club?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Oh, cool.
We're tired of OnlyFans right now. We're going home. We're going somewhere else. We're going to Walmart. We're going to see people in pajamas. So yeah, I mean, you really don't want my opinion on this. I mean, obviously, you're either getting laid or you're jerking off, and people do certain things to achieve that. And I think a lot of that's personal, even if.
And you said you don't use porn, so you must have a hell of an imagination.
Ding ding. I don't know. Mostly, I don't know. I really don't think about it. It's one of those things where once you're done, you're like, oh, that's embarrassing. like everybody should. I don't know. So like, I don't make it like a whole like thing. Like, yes, I'm going to put the tape in. I'm going to get to that spot.
Well, now you don't have to. You just have to go to a website on your phone.
Well, yeah, or it's that, you're like, yeah, I don't understand why you're paying for it unless like you ultimately sort of know these people, or you want to meet them, or they make house calls or whatever. I don't know. I just don't
House
know.
calls.
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out, right? Like that's why we want this girl Lori to come on and tell us.
Yeah, it's not my generation, but I mean, I know people much older than me love it, but like, I don't know, like porn was just different when I was growing up, and
Justin kind of alluded to this, but he was talking like if the girl was like 2 houses down or whatever. Would you guys want like to see a friend like at a strip club or on OnlyFans? Would you pay to go see this person?
If it was
Like a friend?
if it was a friend that's hot that I've never seen naked, I probably would subscribe for 1 month.
Okay.
I wouldn't pay for a damn thing. I mean, it's never been my type of person anyway. Like, I do know friends that went to like fancy show bar when like they have found out a girl, an upper class person, that had a what's that word, reputation for being like hot many years earlier, like found out she became a stripper, and like I was like, that's so sad, and then they were like, oh my god, she's hot, let's go see her take her clothes off. So I was always like, that guy that's like, man, what didn't work out for her? Like went to the same school, and then they're like, let's go see her tits. I just honestly, I was never that person. So.
We are very different, Justin.
Yeah.
We have
See, like,
it showed at church camp where you went to pray and I went to lay, and
You listened by yourself, but it was the intent that's important.
Right after I graduated high school, a couple of us guys celebrating graduating and all that, decided to go to one of our strip clubs around our area, and a girl that actually graduated a year ahead of us was actually stripping there, and we didn't know it, and it felt awkward as shit because we were actually pretty good friends with her. We didn't know she was a stripper.
See,
I
would have just thrown more money
anymore because of this. It was like scarred. It's like, what the hell?
Well, see, I'd have thrown more money and been like, all right, let's go get a dance.
Well, we did. I mean, we treated her well, but it was just weird. I mean,
Did you get a dance?
No, no.
No?
There's a lot of backstory with this girl in my life, and I'm not letting that out. But,
Yeah.
well, it's family wise. I mean, my brother dated her and all that. It was just really weird. I don't know.
So you could have gotten a dance from
yeah,
from a girl your brother used to date.
yeah. Who knows what could have came out of that? I guess,
And we know what would have came out of that.
yeah.
Dustin, money guns would have been shooting.
Well, I was 18 years old. Fuck, that would have been easy.
It's weird that like it's weird that we talk about it like they're supposed to be in, like, for you there's an awkwardness level of like, oh, now she's a stripper, like, oh my god, like it's weird to say that, but I don't have like a problem with the profession. I don't think like
No, me either.
in the world to do, but there's just something about like when it's the people like you don't want to know that they do that. There's almost like this crux there, and it's like I don't want to like say everybody that does it or like doesn't have control over why they do it, or is easy or a floozy or anything. It's just like not what I would want anybody that I care about to endeavor to do.
Well, it's like if you go to Las Vegas at UNLV, a lot of them girls stripping there are just they're paying for their college.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them are. I mean, a lot of them are lawyers and stuff now in real life. I mean, but they strip to make it through college, and they said they don't regret it.
I just know it's a slippery. It can be a slippery slope. Like you can find yourself in other things, and that line, can move a lot faster for you. A lot quicker. In terms of like what you'll do. Like, it's
So-
just, like, once you're
With
in
the
it.
stripper thing, here's another scenario. Say you're in high school, you go to a strip club, like a couple hours away. I'm talking like Varsity Blues here. You go to a strip club, and like your hot teacher is a stripper. How would you react to that, Tony? How would you react to that?
Man, I think I'd still have to be the same way. I give it a fucking 10. A fucking 10.
I mean, every one of us had that teacher when we were in high school. It's like, God, I'd love to be her bad student, or
And you
I'd love to
weren't?
be her. Well, I was a bad student, but not that way.
Why not?
She wasn't like that.
Andy was obviously from.
Andy was. What's that movie with Adam Sandler and Andy?
That's my boy.
Yeah, that's my boy. Andy probably has a kid with a teacher, and the teacher's in jail.
That's Tony's. Yeah, well, that's Tony's story.
Well, that's Tony's department. He was working. No, I never had that experience. I've had it with like high school friends, obviously, but I've never actually had the teacher. You know, they're looking to make extra money too. But I'm with Justin. I'm not against the profession. You know,
You know,
we can't call them strippers. They're exotic dancers.
Some of those teachers, I'm just gonna go out and by no means be a story about this, but there are teachers that are new to high schools, certain high schools, possibly in New Jersey, that are new teachers, fresh out of college. They're young, and when you're 18 in college or in high school, just saying.
What you're saying? Like the ages are close. Like these students are hooking up and shit.
Student and teachers hooking up. It's happened all over the world.
Well, especially if students 18. I mean, it happens with underage kids, but to get students 18.
Well, it's been a joke like by SNL and other places with all these like female to male, female teachers to male students stories popping up. Everybody makes an easy joke where it's like, damn, I could think of a teacher I wish came on to me. We're not looking at it as males like anybody's being taken advantage of.
No.
If it's a woman, it's like that fucking disgusting pervert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because it's every student's fantasy if they got a hot young teacher.
If they're male,
Yeah.
And even some females, they're like, oh my god, Mr. fucking Henderson.
Yeah. Is Justin coming out of the closet?
If Mr. but if Mr. Henderson was at
I don't know. It looks like he's in the closet right now.
But if Mr. Henderson ended up at a party he shouldn't have been at, and it was like that chick that liked him was like, Mr. Henderson, oh my god, what are you doing here? And for a while he's cool, but then the girl would realize like, well, why the fuck does he want to fuck me? There's something wrong with him, So it's like different with like how women and men are with their teachers. Like so, I almost like think like it's a double standard to not say like the female teacher's not taking advantage of the younger guy, like because the way the sex drive is in a boy versus a girl at that time is like you just know you've been there,
And I'm being honest when I talk about some of them are just out of college.
Yep.
So they're what, 22?
22, 23, 24. Yep.
Yeah. So here you are, an 18-year-old student, and I'm not saying I was the worst fucking student there was in any high school ever.
Yeah, I heard about you.
So the first thing was when I was younger in third grade, my parents held me back because I was just, I don't know. I didn't do work. I didn't care. I never cared about school. Never. So I got held back third grade. Then in high school, I decided I didn't want to go no more. Well, being as bad as I was to my parents, I swear to God, I was not a good kid to my parents. I put them through hell. And not by being mean to them, right? But just by doing dumb shit. They couldn't have been very proud of me at that time. You know what I mean?
They're like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed a lot.
Yeah. So now, granted, I'm already a year older than the grade that I should be in, right? But then I decided I didn't want to go to school anymore, so I dropped out. And I was going to do homeschooling, correspondence school. Well, that was good and dandy for about 3 classes till I stopped doing that. Okay? So then I decided, all right, I'll go back to high school. So now I'm, again, another year older.
Oh, my God.
So puberty hit way before his classmates.
So when I'm talking, you got a young teacher and a kid like me who's older, things might happen.
So they did, right?
In the only class I gave a shit about drafting. So that's it. Drafting.
I thought you
Like
said
COD,
rapping.
like CAD.
Yeah.
I thought you said rapping. I'm like, obviously you've had some classes.
Obviously, I mean, I was the king of that too. But I mean, I guess nobody could tell how bad of a fucking student or kid I was when, going to fucking church retreats looking for girls. I mean, I don't know. I had a good youth. I had a good youth, but like not, then because of that, you have a kid early, and you gotta get a job early. You got so then you miss out on all the young adult stuff. So
Tony missed out on a lot of his young adult.
That is true. That is true.
I mean, I did too. And so when I say I went back to high school, do you think I finished?
No.
No. So, the proms I went to were the proms of the girls I was with at the time. I never went to my own prom. I never had the graduating thing, didn't do the college thing. I'd done college courses online when I decided to wake my life up, but after being in high school the second time and then getting a girl pregnant, and I decided to leave school again and get a job and do, the whole take care of the kid thing. So, yeah, I was a dumbass kid, but I missed out on a lot of the young adult things that, are part of life. So,
You were kind of touching on this, but something that I got in my head that always grinds my gears is like everybody's always worried about the age difference between a man and a woman. What's your guys' views on that?
I don't think there's a difference as long as everybody's legal.
Right. But if you look at it, like me and my wife are 4 years apart. If I was
Justin
a
just
senior in
huffed. Justin just huffed when I said that.
I look at it this way. Me and my wife are 4 years apart. We started dating when she graduated high school. But if we started dating when I was in high school, she would have been a freshman. People frown on that, but it's all right. You're out of high school now. You guys can date.
But that's not necessarily true. Go ahead, Tony.
Go ahead, Tony.
Mine's worse.
Mine's worse.
That's his pickup.
And she brings this up a lot, and she just thinks it's funny, and I'm just like, seriously, why do you have to bring this up?
Well, yeah, I mean, really. So Tony, if you want to indulge into your current relationship.
Yeah, because we're 11 years apart, so...
So when you would have been a senior in high school, she would have been what?
He's just smiling. He's not talking.
No, but that's what I was trying to say. There is nothing. I don't think the age difference is bad in anybody. As long as you're in love, who gives a crap?
Yeah, I don't think there is either. As long as it's a consensual, legal relationship. So
we kind of interrupted Tony with what he was saying, though. Let's go back to him. Let him finish.
That's all I really wanted to say. Yeah, I mean, just like everybody said, as long as it's legal and everything, and we're older, so yeah, it really doesn't make a difference now. I mean, there's been people that's done many different ages in between. You see, I can't even remember. I've read it somewhere. This guy, he's like 30, and his wife's like 65, and they're trying to have their first kid and everything. And yeah.
Now,
Weird.
I went to I was.
Okay, what did your guest have to say to you?
Nothing. He just started to laugh about it as soon as I say that. He just walked me out.
Damn dog.
Damn dogs.
I was 21 at my wife's prom. Her senior prom.
I actually went with a girl.
Were you still a
when
sophomore
I was
at that
22.
Technically, yes.
He's still a sophomore. I was 22 and I went with a girl to prom.
Yeah. So Justin, you huffed when I said that. So do you see a difference with the age thing?
Yeah, I definitely do. First of all, women don't want to. Let's say girls. As soon as they want to start dating for real, they don't want to date boys. So they want to date men. Men aren't men until they're older. They have different spurts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
They want girls.
Yeah, it actually makes more. They'll put up with boys as long as they have to, but when they want to start dating, they have to date boys anyway because eventually, once they're old enough, they're going to get a man, and that's when the age changes and they start going for like 40 and plus because, you know, and this changes with generations too. But now, you know, the younger girls want to find like 40 plus because there's, you know, they're men. And the people younger than that, down to their age, are just so fucking immature and self-centered. So it's just how the generation works currently. So right now, it makes sense that a lot of people's stories are I'm dating somebody 11 years older than me, or kind of like that. You know?
So
what never makes sense to me is the women dating younger men. They just want to get fucked by something young. I don't know what, but you know, that's what I don't get.
So what would your feeling be on a double ager, a 36-year-old and an 18-year-old?
No, that's a little weird. I mean, there is a certain age where you know you're gonna get questions, you know, and I have the same questions. I'm like, that's weird. Like, you know, like no, dude, like, you know, maybe somebody a little older than that. I mean, don't be a total punk. You know that girl's too stupid still. Like, don't let her continue to be stupid by having to date a 36-year-old. In most cases, if you have a specific thing you're going to throw in my face right now, I'm saying in most cases that's how I feel. But you can plead your case.
So if you're just a single dude, whatever age, and there's a girl half your age, just throwing her vagina, and she's a good-looking girl, and she's throwing her shit at you, what do you do?
Being that she's that young, I would be like, I don't know, I feel bad. I'd be like, what happened? Like, why do you think you have to do that? You make somebody like you? I don't know. Like, it's weird. Am I being real or am I being fake? Like, you know, yeah, man, I'd love to bang a hot 18-year-old. They're the best, man. Like,
I mean, if you're a single dude, I mean, maybe that, like Tony, maybe it turns into something.
yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, I don't know why an 18-year-old and me would be alone at this point. Like, that's kind of the lifestyle. I'm like, nah, I don't see that happening.
Okay, so you're at the bar playing your gig, so the good-looking 21-year-old comes up to you.
Even then,
You start shooting the shit. She's a good-looking girl. You just shoot her shit. She's not throwing her tits in your face, but you're talking and seem like you.
He's 21 either, is what you're saying. Either.
Right.
Not looking at obvious, like, I'm so dumb and young.
Right. Yeah. You're just shooting the shit. You're having a good time, good conversations, and she goes, "Hey, you wanna hang out afterwards and have some drinks or whatever?" I mean, you're saying no?
I guess. But you're asking me if it happens to be a 21-year-old, and like I'm not like. Wait, how old are you? You know, like if it's obvious that I'm not like about to get with like the dumbest person ever alive, that's gonna make another mistake by hooking up with me. Like it would probably be less obvious to me. Like if it did get that far with me, then clearly I'm not doing anything wrong or anything against what I believe. So, but I might get to the age now where it's like a bunch of 22-year-olds want to hang out, like fuck yeah, young chicks. You know?
The thing is with that.
You know.
The thing is with that, though, you're at your club, you're playing, and you think this girl, she says she's 21, 22. She could be 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
Well, not if he's at a bar, right? I mean, that's on the bouncers.
Fake IDs are a thing, man.
I know, but you can't. If you that would so go out the window in a court of law that you met, especially with Justin. He's got everything videotaped and whatever when he's there, so he could say, "Hey, we were at a bar, like this ain't on me. This is on the bar."
Well, correct. But girls always want to be older.
But I don't want to go. I don't want to get into that discussion, right? I'm just saying he has no idea how old she is. She looks older than she actually is. They're having a good time, having conversation. He ends up you know, having a couple beers with her, getting her number, calling her up, and hang out again, and then bang, like, and they start a relationship. But and she's like, well, I'm 21.
If she's able to like hang out in a conversation with me where we're both talking about something, because you get to a point where you're talking to a girl and you're like, all right, well, we're gonna fuck, and I gotta keep being nice, even though I don't want to listen to what you say. You know, like part of that happens to everybody, even in the longest relationships, like for whatever reason. Fucking ends up being about like, we're stuck together, so I gotta be nice here. There's some level of that. If it's happening, it's like it'll happen that early on with somebody that's young because they're vapid and nothing like what they're saying is interesting to you. What you're saying is going over their head. So I would think that based on the law of averages, there'd be no 21-year-old girl I'd be talking to where I wouldn't know she's that young within 5 minutes. So no, then I wouldn't continue to let it go further because I'm 42 and it's not a good look. I mean, other than street cred, I guess, I don't know. It's not a good look for me to be hanging out with somebody so young.
Tony, how do you feel about that? Because obviously, how old were you when you met your fiance?
I was 37, 36, 37.
Which made her 25.
Yes. Yeah. No, 26. Or turning, somewhere in that area. 25, 26. Yeah. So my issue is, around her age is okay. Can't go anything a little lower than that. Because
I would say that links up.
I mean, I can't be with a girl that is the same age or younger than my son because, no, that's bad.
Yeah, because he might steal her.
Hey, that's a possibility, He's talked about that before.
But but they would do that with any age, I guess. But also for the level of like where you are specifically in your age, and how young you can go with a girl, like where you know that they're not that you're the most mature person and they're the most immature no matter their age, just more maturity from 25, 26, 27 for your age currently, or where you were at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now you can put up with like a 25-year-old girl if you're like 27, you know. When you're 40, it becomes a little more difficult. I don't know how to put it, and it's not knocking any specific sex. It's just experience, you know.
So you've never had the experience of having someone that much younger than you?
No, I don't think I would, unless like I became full-on rock star and like it took over and I was not any of the person I am now. I'd be like, fucking every chick, every night, you know.
So are you like a 3-month minimum date before your
3-month minimum what?
Date before you lay the pipe?
No, it's happened in a couple occurrences. I'm not totally like rude like that, but it you know, when I was having younger relationships, when I was having relationships with younger women, I myself was younger, so yeah, when I was younger, it ran more on like a track than it does now in adulthood, where you're just like, are we gonna do this or what, you know? And then you're just looking for this time, you know. But you're both adults, and I'm not saying that's something I would do with a 21-year-old at this age. So, you know, you might find yourself waiting a lot longer the younger girl you pick. You know?
Maybe not.
Or maybe, who knows? I don't know that generation. They might even be way faster.
I don't know that generation either, but it seems that, I don't know. They're not having babies right now, so I don't know if they're having sex.
I think that they're so wrapped up in themselves, they're just worrying about their own orgasms, so half of them are getting off.
And maybe they're watching OnlyFans while they're doing it.
If we're at the point now where the internet is so vast, and then there's a lot of people paying for like people that look like they live next door with you know, real assholes that we all see every day, you know, like then you know, that's beyond me. I don't understand that generation. Why? You know, you can literally watch anything you want for free, and you're gonna go pay, you know, some girl with pimples on her ass that's not airbrushed to like make it. You want that realness, but you don't want to try to actually date any real women. Like, it's just, you know, you pay a lot less, and you know, you actually get like the one-on-one experience if you just try to meet somebody, because they're all just as gross, because they're just like real life chicks on the internet. You know?
Yeah.
Kind of like airbrush porn stars that are professional. You know? I don't know. I think
So-
that's what people-
So let's move to another email that kind of touches on this, right? I told you our El Presidente now on the chopping block for a possible debate because he hasn't done his job as El Presidente. Like presidents, no matter what it is, right? It's at your local Eagles club. It's at in your high school president, class president, the president of the United States, whatever the president is. Isn't their job to lead? Right? And so Mr. President Cockhair is not leading, in my personal opinion, right now. But however, the person who is a candidate to take his job over, who is, we will call him candidate Tickle Dick at this point, did send us an email regarding this topic. So not President. I'm already calling him President Tickle Dick because he sent an email. Candidate Tickle Dick.
who are we kidding? You got the job, kid.
Yeah. Candidate Tickle Dick says, I don't personally subscribe to OnlyFans, but I believe the appeal behind it is the fact that it's more personal. Granted, you can see pretty much anything you want on a porn site. I'm curious if he knows that for a fact.
Say we might be learning a lot about candidate Tickle Dick here.
Candidate Tickle Dick is watching anything he wants on a porn site. But you can't see your next door neighbor on that site most of the time. So I think guys who have nothing better to spend their money on will subscribe just to be able to say, yeah, I've seen Sally Sue's asshole when they see her walking around town. So that is from Candidate Tickle Dick. So that goes down to saying, like, would you subscribe to an OnlyFans if it was a girl in your neighborhood that was good looking? If her name was Sally Sue, would you be like, well, I need to subscribe so I can see her asshole?
Well, you got Findom. You know what that is, right? This is all just like a level of that. Man, I think he said himself, there's nothing better to spend their money on. Like, guys that are disgusting, like, or introverted or whatever, but that can use their phone, like, they just, they have these apps where they could just send you money and be like, pull 3 beads out of your butthole. Or, do whatever. I mean, it starts at, like, that's where I'm saying the line starts to skew for the women to get into it. It's like, at some point you're like, yeah, I'll make a couple bucks, like, putting on dresses or something, or dressing up like, Harley Quinn. And then
Kind of cosplay,
you check back with that girl in a few months, and she's showing you her asshole while she's, like, straddling a mirror, and you're like, like that's what I'm talking about. And it's like, and you'll fight tooth and nail with that person to say, like, what you're doing is, like, disgusting. And they'll be like, no, I get fans and stuff. It's like,
and I'm making money. Like,
I guess, yeah.
I mean, to them, it's about the money. Maybe they don't personally know. They're giving a personal experience, but they don't personally know these people.
But do their parents know that stuff? Like, do their boyfriends and husbands know that stuff? Like, how many people in their lives, like, porn stars is like one thing, like, it's like, it's a profession and everybody knows you're a stripper, but, like, what happens, like, when, you do this and then somebody finds out about it, and then you're trying to explain it, like, well, it's money, like, yeah, but, it used to be a different, like, level of making money for different types of people. Now, if it's for everybody, that morality line is still there. Like, what if, like, your daughter did it?
Right.
Would you want that? Like, that's like the ultimate question. Oh, I don't have a daughter. Well, imagine if you did.
Yeah, imagine if you had a daughter and you were on OnlyFans and you stumbled upon her page.
Now, I'm not saying there's never going to be strippers and there's never going to be hookers and there's never going to be what was the other one? stripper. I wrote a book. Strippers, hookers, and whatever. Anyway, but there's gonna be fewer. You know, like if you don't have this type of thing, you know, you're gonna have fewer people like crossing that morality line.
So since you weren't here last
But I did watch it. Yeah.
week. So how are you? How's your feeling about somebody emailing us, saying they're okay coming on here and stripping for us?
I guess if it's like, you know, yeah, I mean, if they want to, if they feel like that's gonna boost or anything, well, we know it's gonna boost. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess you'd have to ask me if I thought if it was cool when Howard Stern did it, and you know, I guess, you know, it's just as cool. Like, hey, we got a stripper on here now. You can't see it on YouTube because YouTube's already cock ass about what we put on there before strippers go on there. But like, yeah, it wouldn't be.
Well, maybe we'll do it anyway. Since what are they gonna do? Boot us off the service that they're not paying us for?
You could only accept my vote for no stripper against your probably 3 votes for stripper. But like,
yeah, we've already voted three. We're having a stripper.
3-1. Yeah. So, it's just pointless for me to put my my stake in the ground because I'd rather remain anonymous with my opinion because then you have fewer haters. So, but, yeah.
He just wants to put his stake in the ground.
I've been to a strip club one time and that was enough. So that's nice.
So here's what's gonna happen because we heard Dustin's story of a girl coming up to him and saying, "Hey, you're on the podcast." Justin, somebody's gonna eventually recognize you and go up to you and be like, "You're on the podcast, and you ain't getting none, are you?" Because like they're just gonna be like, you know, we got no interest in you.
Yeah.
You're a stripper hater.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I'm not trying to come across like that. I just wish that, just like musicians, you know, like if the shitty ones like stopped trying, like there'd be fewer shitty musicians. You know, there'd be fewer shitty strippers, but even for more sense, there'd be more, I don't know, honest people that like don't have to keep like redefining that line for themselves. Because I always feel bad when somebody has a lifestyle that they don't need to have, and they have anonymity gone, and their innocence gone. You know, like you know, there's people.
Well, maybe it's a lifestyle they enjoy.
Yeah, there's people that can deal with it, and then there's people that like don't realize like that they're kind of in a machine, you know, that's ultimately going to take advantage of them. And you know, I don't know. Some people are in control of it. I just don't think a lot of people are. You know, I don't know. And this is coming from the person that's like, if there needs to be a stripper on the show, it's going to be me. You know, but I know like people are just going to laugh at me. You know, like it's different for a guy to get naked, you know, than a girl to get naked. A girl gets naked, everybody starts like getting boners and wants to start like doing bad things to her. It's like she can't.
Well, and it boosts ratings and show views.
Right. Well, then you got a bunch of then
because I think people will turn it off when we say Justin's stripping.
Well, then you got a bunch of people watching your shows that like will pay for OnlyFans. So we should start getting money out of them.
We might have to make an OnlyFans just for this.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have it. Justin, you can be our OnlyFans model.
Hey, I'll do it. You know, I don't care. They're just gonna laugh at me. Anyway.
Oh, well, that's I love this conversation because you know we have differences in opinions. Obviously, everybody knows that like I'm the dog of the group, right? But and Justin is kind of the opposite of me, and Tony and Dustin kind of fall in the middle because they love their wives, and I love my wife too. God love her, right?
You're not doing anything like dastardly, and you're just enjoying seeing naked people. You know?
Yeah, I don't. My wife doesn't care if I see naked people.
It's like for
long as I come home to her.
That's right.
Yeah. It's like for going.
My wife joins me in the strip clubs if we go. So.
Yeah. But like the zoo, like I know they're always gonna exist whether I want to go to them or not. But like I feel like as long as I don't go to the zoo, like I'm fine with that.
If we had a BACC Talk night at the strip club, would Justin show up?
He'd be setting him back playing pool.
I'd be showing up to that sooner than I'd be showing up to golf. That's for sure.
Hey, Justin, I'm just curious. You got something to play for us this week or what? Like, we've been wanting this for weeks. You playing some music
for it now?
You playing some music for us?
You guys recognize this little ditty? Oh shit!
It doesn't work again.
Yeah, it doesn't. Do I turn it off? Okay, here's you heard this one, right?
Yeah, but I'm pissed off at you for hating strippers.
You are pissed off at me for hating strippers. You're like that friend that calls
exotic dancers.
Yeah, you're like that friend that calls me up and be like, "Want to go exotic dance?" Wait, well then it's not exotic dance. I mean, they have
a gentleman's club.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Want to go to a gentleman's club? And I'll be like, "No, I don't do those." And then Andy's like. He's like, "Fuck, you're not a true friend." It's like, I'll be there. I'll wait outside. Come on, I'll pay your $20 to get in. You don't even have to look. I could just imagine this night going. It's like,
that's right. I'd have to pay your cover charge and bring your beer for you, and the whole fucking 9 yards. And then you'd get into it after a few beers. I'd be like, and then you'd be like, "Well, I didn't bring any money, so I'd have to buy you a dance."
I would literally, you know how like if somebody's like pointing to a spot like in a cave or something, I explore. Like somebody's pointing, like, "Oh god, we can't go in there because there's a bunch of spider webs covering the beginning," and it's like, if they were like that way is like spider webs covering the beginning, that way you have to go through a strip club. I'd be like, "I'm not gonna fucking spider web." I feel less skeevy,
Oh my!
You literally see bugs jumping on you. This one you're just going through like a spider web where all the spiders take care of all the other bugs. So you're like, okay, I just got spider web on me. That's not as bad.
So what songs you got for us? Because we gotta hear something.
I don't really have a song. I'm kind of embarrassed to think that I'd have like I came up with topics, but I was just gonna fuck around with this stupid thing because we've talked about the Sex and Candy song for like 3 months. So, finally got this thing to make a sound. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He's wrong.
He's wrong.
Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves while I'm being stupid.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
He's got to insert his cord into his wooden.
Because the battery will die, folks. Your battery will die if you go to your gig and you leave your plug plugged into it. The battery in your guitar will die, and that's why that keeps happening. I can't even play anymore, guys. You made me nervous.
Oh God!
Sounds
playing
like
for live studio audience right now.
Yeah.
All right, you recognize that?
A little bit.
This is called Sex and Andy.
Sex and Andy.
Ooh.
I smell sex and Andy here. Trying to come up with lyrics that would.
That's all he's got. Holy shit! What a good song.
We're writing this as we go.
What a great song.
Wait, I'm open to suggestions.
Tony's got his lighter out.
Andy here, trying to have sex in
a chair.
I'm trying to here. Andy, yeah. We can go with yeah. I think that's what he says anyway, right?
He's got a ton of gel in his hair.
Yeah. He's got a ton of gel in his hair.
He went to the strip club over there.
Mama, the girl said, Mama, this must be my dream. That's different chords, hold on. All right, we got to come up with some lyrics, though, and we got to, like, flesh it out. So we got, I smell sex and Andy here. He put a lot of gel in his hair. Who's that casting DP that stares? What did you say that was? He's got a strip club over there. He's casting deep heated stares. Wait. So
We're writing a song live.
Oh, my direction.
Yeah.
You gotta get erection in there.
Yeah, well, yeah, you got to get an erection and something about, you know, church retreats.
Yeah, that's verse 2, obviously.
Oh.
Because this is kind of what you're doing, like, now, you know.
Oh, right.
Second verse is like, this is where it started, you know? Actually, no, that's the chorus, so that would repeat itself. So that's what we're going to repeat. I smell sex and it here. He's got a lot of gel in his hair. Going to the strip club over there. And with his erection.
He ain't getting anywhere.
All the girls, they stare.
He's gonna strip club over there with a big erection. No, this is just Andy's dream. Yeah, right, like the big erection would be his dream. Change the chords there in case guys are homework or anything. Yeah, this is just Andy's dream. Dig it. He says dig it at one point.
2 weeks off, and he's not written lyrics to this fucking song yet.
I know. Now this is the verse, okay? This is what we got to work with. All right.
Have you written it down?
Downtown by myself, and I had so much time. This is about you, Andy, and thinking about myself, and then there she was. Disco cherry pie, yeah, there she was. At a church retreat in July. Still sex and Andy. He went to fuck.
There's a lot of gel in his hair.
I know. I'm trying to come up with we're so much better than this, guys. I mean, that's the one to beat. I smell sex and Andy here. We're fucking ourselves up by saying here. I smell sex and Andy.
Yeah.
Andy Shades. Yeah. I smell sex and Andy Shades. He's having sex in
The cave.
Batgirl.
Sex and Andy Shades. Having church retreats, he's got it made.
Getting laid. What are you talking about?
And laid. Church retreats getting laid. Then it goes,
And he's not writing any of this down. So next week, or in 2 weeks, this is not getting any better.
No. Here you go, Andy. This is Andy's song. Ready? My blood runs cold. My memory has just been sold. Angel is a centerfold. You know, because you're like the pro stripper guy. You're talking about how there's a girl in your class you wish became a stripper or something. That's like that. That's that song, dude. They did that in like 1983. You know, they're already onto it. They're like, what would happen?
So what band does Sex and Andy come from?
Marcy Playground.
Sex and Andy?
Oh, comes from Peanut Butter Playground.
Correct. Just want to make sure you're on top of your game. Since you have the guitar and everything there, any chords from Karate Frog?
I can't. No, I have none of that remembered. I mean,
Well, you didn't have any of this song remembered either.
no. But that song, I mean, as popular as Karate Frog became, there's not as many tablets or cheats online as there were for Sex and Andy. Or Sex and Candy. Wouldn't it be weird, like, for Peanut Butter Playground, if, like, even one person was paying attention to Peanut Butter Playground for, like, the past 25 years? They'd be like, all right, so we got Karate Frog. I guess nothing's going to happen with these guys. Keeps checking. You know, it's like...
And we released Sex and Andy.
And then this podcast comes along in 2022, and, like, for some reason, Peanut Butter Playground with Sex and Andy. A new song? Oh, I hope they kept up with their Christian whatever, and it's like...
Well, you know, it's very possible that happened with our millions and millions of followers we had back then. I mean...
well, what is that impression you just did?
Rock.
The Rock.
Oh, yeah. See,
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
That's right. He's an actor now.
So I understand you've been... So speaking of, actors now and stuff, right? I understand you've been watching a show we talked about at the very beginning of this podcast when we first started.
Germination of me watching the show was podcast 1. Yep.
And remind everybody what show this is you're watching now?
It's actually a movie that Andy recommended was probably the best movie he's seen in 5 years, called The Batman.
Oh my fucking God. Now get ready. I'm fucking angry. He forgot the chords on that too. He forgot the fucking song. Now he's forgot the fucking angry.
Shut up, that's a song.
Forgot the angry shit too. God damn it. Now I'm really angry.
Well, you had to talk about Batman. We were on the way to the wedding that I was at this weekend, and we actually saw a license plate that was "I'm Batman."
Oh, good Lord.
That's Andy's new license plate. We got to get him a license plate that says "I'm the new Batman."
I mean, I'd play a better Batman than that horse shit we watched. I mean, damn. Bring that crap up, and it makes me angry about the whole damn Batman series. I'm angry.
You're the one that brought it up.
Anyway, the show is called Gotham. It ran on Fox, and I finally checked it out. Oh, like I was like going through like internet hoops trying to watch it for free, and I realized the whole time it was on Netflix. So, you guys want to check it out? It's on Netflix.
I think we told you that.
I think you did. Fuck off. And then one time, it's funny because I went in to watch Netflix for something, and it suggested Gotham after, and I'm like, the fuck you say? It's on here?
Yeah, we fucking told him it's on fucking Netflix. Go watch it.
Oh man, that doesn't mean it was on Netflix. Like, it's still on Netflix. That doesn't mean anything.
So the guy who searches how to find shows to watch for free instead of just on Netflix is the same fucking guy who won't walk into a strip club, just so you know.
Right. And I didn't realize that it was on there. I wouldn't even think it would be because I've never been that lucky because the last 5 things I went to watch wasn't on there, so I just got used to not even looking. So, yeah, I watched the 1 season on some website you're not supposed to go on to watch it, and then that's when the whole thing happened on Netflix where it suggested it as a next show when I was watching something else, and I'm like, wow, even he is.
So, and people wonder why I say the 3 dumbasses are here. You've just shown your dumbass ability.
Idiots, right?
Yeah, idiots, yeah.
I like when you do idiot shit like that. That should be like a whole show of like, I'm smart, but I ... You know? It's just like these like fucking off the wall things. Like, how is like nobody's like ever as dumb as like the dumbest shit you do. But like if somebody just saw that as an example, they'd be like, you are the dumbest person that has ever existed, probably. You know?
Yeah, why wouldn't you have checked all the streaming services first?
I don't know. Because I have in the past, and it's just been like, of course it's not on there. What do I pay for these things for? So I just got used to it. I'm like, let me go to that website I went to last time and type in Gotham this time. You know?
Get all the fucking viruses that I can get while I'm watching it. Uh-oh. He is frozen, sucking on his microphone. It's what happens when you're a dumbass.
That's what happens when you get all them viruses watching porn.
Yeah, see, the viruses just fucked him up. Completely fucked him up. Froze his ass. Because he's watching you know,
Oh,
fucking.
he's back! He's
Oh,
back! Not talking about him.
Sorry, I was watching the Batman. I know you guys would realize it's worth it to cock up the podcast as long as I was watching a really good movie.
All you gotta do is say the Batman. You don't even have to like let me talk. Just play those fucking notes. Like, Jesus.
Did you guys
So what do you
know-
think of this Gotham now that you actually found out you can watch it on Netflix?
Yes.
Of all things.
I know. I'm on season 3, 4 maybe, I don't know. I don't see this guy becoming Batman. I'm not a fan of the Bruce Wayne, but everything else I like.
How many seasons are you into?
I think I'm into the 4th one now. So, and he still looks pretty young to be like, they got him fighting and shit now, like, you know, but like at this point, Alfred could be Batman.
Well, you gotta see how I don't want to give it away.
No, go ahead. That's fine. Don't,
The relationship between Alfred and Bruce Wayne changes slightly. So, and it's like, if you're gonna fucking do this shit, like, let's fucking get you ready. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't catch most of that. For some reason, you were cutting out, at least on my end. So hopefully,
well, good. I'm glad everybody else fucking heard it, but except for you.
hopefully, I was just frozen to everybody watching, and then the show went along.
And you just played with your boobs. I watched it.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Probably because my eyes is frozen.
He's looking for that upside down pineapple from 2 weeks ago.
How are people gonna know? Yeah.
So what are you thinking about the other characters, though? You know, you come across Oswald Cobblepot before he's even Penguin, you know, at the beginning, and obviously Nigma is not the Riddler at the beginning, and
Yeah, he just became the Riddler, basically. Again, calling himself that.
right. So you see the evolution, kind of the evolution of those characters, right? The villains.
I just didn't know, and this might not be canon, but I didn't know Bruce Wayne was that much younger than all these guys, like as the arch villains. So to think now that he's going around beating up people that are 20 years older than him, he's not really like that tough. Yeah, I just beat up the Joker. Be like, he's like 45 years older than you. What the fuck are you talking about? Good job. Like,
Eventually, shit's going to hit the fan when you get there, and you start to understand some stuff, and then you've got Catwoman not being Catwoman yet, right?
yeah, and then they aged Ivy up, which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if that like was more or less to serve the story or serve the character. But I don't know anything in Ivy's backstory where she was suddenly an adult from a kid. I don't know if that's canon. But you can tell me otherwise. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure how she evolved to being Poison Ivy myself in the movies. But I like the evolution of the characters, and that's what really drew me to this show, and what really made me enjoy it.
Well, definitely the Penguin. Like I said before, like he annoyed me at first, but then like he really grows like a fungus. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You, like wait for the season to end, and then like when somebody tries like to get one over on him, you're like, oh, they're fucked. Like,
Right.
Like I think they killed him like 3 times now, and it's just like, dude, what are you doing?
And so, have you seen the not Joker?
The not what?
Not Joker?
Yeah, how'd you feel
Jerome.
about him?
Yeah, Jerome.
Yeah, I mean, I saw his evolution. I mean, he's in Arkham now, so I saw him come back to life after just killing his mom in the circus. So I've seen, like, I knew he was a Joker. They were more than obvious about it when they were establishing him.
Yeah.
So he himself said in interviews he was looking at Heath Ledger's Joker a lot. So to say it's derivative of that is like the implication anyway. So, but that's all I would say about it. Funky looking dude. They picked somebody good. You know.
Yeah. So, what's your overall enjoyability of the show?
I'd say what for the show?
Yeah.
Like 7.5 out of 10, and that's high for me. You know, with shows like that have serious like, issues that usually bother me anyway.
Mm.
But yeah, that's pretty high because the enjoyability, like there's clearly something they're doing right because of the way the characters are and the way they interact with each other. That sets it above. So part of it feels like if the actors aren't good enough, part of it feels like bad theater, but then the rest of it's just good. So
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely was. I know I've expressed this, and everybody knows that's why I get angry about the Batman. Thank you. And then because the Batman series is probably my personal favorite, and going into watching this, I was not sure when I first started watching it, but man, it almost immediately hooked me. And then when they were evolving the characters, I mean, I was hooked, and I was binge watching the hell out of it because I found it on Netflix.
It's on there.
And Dustin, you've watched it. Dustin, have you watched it?
Nope.
Oh man, I think you need to.
When we first started talking about Batman stuff, I remember telling you guys that I'm not really a superhero kind of guy.
So
You know,
I'm not against them. I mean, well, I've seen some of the Batmans, like the older ones, like, you know, with Penguin and Mr. Freeze and all that. You know, I've seen some of the movies, but I just was never a superhero kind of guy, like Marvel and all that stuff. I don't watch.
And I'm not either, right? I was never into Marvel, and it only started, I think, probably during COVID that I started watching the Marvel movies. And
you said you're doing it chronologically or something.
Yeah, chronologically, because it and everything really makes sense to me doing it that way, and so it's enjoyable for me to watch. But it's not like hell. I'd rather watch Field of Dreams or The Natural or something along those lines. That would be my favorite type of stuff. But when I've been getting more and more into these, I don't know, dramatic series that have good storylines, and this Gotham really has a good storyline and evolution to the story over time. Would you agree, Justin?
Yeah, and even the stuff, like I said, like the serious stuff I have an issue with, that a lot of shows struggle with, that I would have stopped watching by now. Gotham has that, where it's like, god damn, why would you even set foot in Gotham Precinct? Like, just every episode, it's like somebody comes through the front gates and is like, hey everybody, and throws a bomb at all the cops. As much as shit keeps continuing on that show, it's the rest of it's done in a way where it doesn't bother you. Where you're like, do they know how much camp is in this? Versus how if they're creating camp by accident. Which is why I wanted to bring up Gotham, because there's B movies that were meant to be good that now have a huge shelf life because they're celebrated as being so bad they're good, like a lot of movies. And now there's worst movies that were supposed to be good, and there's just nothing good about it. It's not even bad. It's not even good bad on by accident. So I was gonna ask you guys, what are the worst movies you saw that didn't end up having a back end interest in how bad it was? It's just so bad that you're there's nothing to take away from this. And it has to be something you saw in the movie theater where you just were I want to leave. I don't leave movie theaters, but I want to leave.
What if you don't go to the movie theater?
I mean, if you ever had. And I've never, I had never left. I've left a rental before, when everybody's watching a rental. I hated the movie so much that, I just went upstairs and, played Scrabble. Because it was kind of before cell phones. And, but I've never walked out of a movie theater. I'm just wondering, if you could imagine you were in a movie theater, you'd be like, I would get up and leave.
The Batman.
Besides the Batman.
Yeah, almost a third of us agreed that if we were watching in the theater, we would have probably got up and left, no matter whatever. But yeah, aside from that, And
I don't finish movies that I don't like. And the only reason I finished The Batman was because we were going to fucking talk about it. It took me 2 weeks to fucking watch it.
What about movies you end up hearing about and you're like, wow, I just didn't like that, and like I felt so let down by it? What are they even talking about? Why is this movie? Aside from the Batman, I know it's a big that falls into this category too.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of some of the cult classics.
So some
like,
of the ones that go down in like top lists, like you found not liking.
yeah, I mean, they're good, but people are like Cheech and Chong. Doesn't do anything for me, right? I'm not a pot smoker. I guess maybe that's why, right? But like Cheech and Chong, I wouldn't go to a movie theater and watch it. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, cult classic on TV all the time now. Good to watch once, maybe, just as a cult classic, but it's not a really great movie, to be honest with you, in my opinion.
It doesn't really have rewatchability. I mean, it has memorable lines and stuff that people won't shut up about, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I do love that movie.
How about The Breakfast Club?
Love it.
Yeah, me too.
I love that movie.
Tony?
Let's see, that's one I'll rewatch and rewatch and rewatch.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Well,
What about you, Tony? I mean, like, what about your movies? And also give us your take on Gotham, because I know you've watched it.
my movies and what?
Gotham?
Sorry, I froze.
Gotham take. Yeah.
Oh, Gotham. Yeah, Gotham's wonderful. You can't just not diss Gotham. I mean, even if we have fans out there that have watched Gotham, we want to hear your opinions on this, please. 'Cause, yeah, Gotham's a great show, especially just the transitions of everything and everybody growing up, where they came into. Yeah. Movie wise, I'm just like, let's see, like culture. We were talking about those, like Kill Bill. I can never get into the Kill Bills, so I don't know why I started watching it. That was one in the theater I went to see, and yeah, I'm just like, I just can't get into this. So I just don't.
Well,
know
I could give you a franchise that I don't get into, that I would probably get murdered by a lot of people for saying this. But the Fast and Furious franchise does not do it for me. Period.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. I don't even like. There's no amount of cars that I like as much as you guys do. So there's like nothing in it for me.
Like I don't think the stories are great. I don't think the characters are great. And there's people out there that are going to be like, oh, the dude who died, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
But
I say after Tokyo Drift, that's when it started to really kind of go downhill for me. I agree. I still watch them, but I mean, yeah, after Tokyo Drift, it was just like,
And Star
really
Wars
have
being another one.
what to do.
Your first 3 original Star Wars were great. There might have been 1 or 2 good ones after that, but now at this point, they have absolutely destroyed the Star Wars franchise, in my opinion.
I didn't even watch the 9th one. I managed to see 7 and 8. For the last trilogy, and I didn't like 8. 7 was like watching 4, because they rebooted 4. They rebooted the original Star Wars and called it 7. And 8 sucked, and then I just knew 9 was gonna suck. And then everybody watch on YouTube, even the people that are like diehard like Star Wars fans, were like, that sucked. What the fuck did they do to this franchise?
Well, ever since Disney took it, it's garbage. And there's people that are into The Mandalorian, which I guess is a show
like
for
that.
Star. So you're into that.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, they picked good cast. It's Jon Favreau, aka guy did Swingers, was in Swingers, wrote Swingers. Like I followed his career forever, so I might be biased, but he does a good job. He did Iron Man 1 and 2, maybe 3 too. So he does good stuff. Yeah, so I do like
Tony,
Mandalorian.
now
It is-
Tony's our Star Wars guy.
Okay.
So tell us your take on how Star Wars has evolved here.
I mean, yeah, it has changed a lot. Just like you said, when Disney took over, they switched the stories around. It kind of feels like, it's nothing like George Lucas used to do back in the day. But yeah, the storylines are kind of just drag on a little bit with those, especially like 7, 8, 9. it is kind of just some parts you're like, whatever, and blah blah blah. But I mean, they are coming out with the new stuff like talked about Mandalorian. You got Boba Fett. Now you got Obi-Wan Kenobi coming out, which I still haven't started to watch that yet. Well, I mean, Mandalorian was good. I've caught up on that. Boba Fett, I watched that. So kind of weird in Boba Fett because you're just talking about Boba Fett, but then there's like 2 episodes they're just talking about the Mandalorian, and that's it. It's like, what's the point? So it kind of lost me in that part.
So is that a crossover show, I guess?
The Mandalorian stopped.
No, he was just. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, the Mandalorian stopped after a certain storyline, like was good enough to wait, right? I don't know if you agree. Good enough to wait till the Mandalorian came back, but for some reason they threw the continuation of that story into a 2-episode arc of the different show Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Now, Boba Fett's resurgence came about because Mandalorian got made first, and then Boba Fett kind of turned up that storyline. So they announced at the end of season 2, and by the way, look for Boba Fett show, and now the Boba Fett show's out, and 2 of those episodes were devoted to the Mandalorian storyline. So, you don't watch Boba Fett and you're going into Mandalorian season 3, you need to be aware of the fact that you missed 2 episodes.
Yep.
So.
Dustin, are you into this Star Wars?
Nope.
The people can't hear you that are listening. When you're shaking your head.
No, I never really got into them either. I'm more of the horror genre, comedy. I'm not. It's how I was brought up. What I love. I mean, you get me going on horror movies, I'd never end. I mean, that's how I am. I don't know. I've always been the scary kind of guy,
Well, that'll have to be a whole episode.
Yeah.
On the because we're getting close to our wrap up time. I don't want to get too far into the horror movies.
Well, am I against Star Wars and like stuff like that? No, I mean my in-laws they love Star Wars, but I just never got into Star Wars or Star Trek or anything like that. It's just that was never something that appealed to me.
Yeah, I'm not. Go ahead, Justin.
If you like it, the best way to put it is like you're kind of, if you like Star Wars as much as maybe I do, you kind of say like you're in a sort of relationship where you understand that there's abuse.
Oh, I didn't know you were a Star Wars guy like Tony is, so that's.
Not as much. He might be more, but like if you like it at least as much as I do, there's a level of like it's bittersweet.
He has to go to the baseball game when it's Star Wars night.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Especially if they pay homage to the older stuff that was like more or less like his age when he was coming up. I get that.
They give the bobblehead with the Star Wars character wearing like a Reds jersey or some shit like that. I mean, why else would anybody go to a Reds game, to be honest with you? They're so freaking terrible.
It's like, let's just do Star Wars night every night.
Yeah, they do that. They have to bring your dog to the baseball game shit. And,
Yeah.
Monday, dollar dog night. Tuesday, dollar pretzel night. Wednesday, Star Wars night. Thursday.
Yeah. I mean, Tony goes to bring your dog night and tries to bring his son and pretend, but, Tickle Dick is... So Tickle Dick's got a T-shirt. I understand. Am I right about this, Tony?
Yeah, I gave him his T-shirt, so I haven't seen it yet, but he does.
So here's
have a
another
t-shirt.
one. Here's another one. We don't have a picture in the T-shirt, but so we're gonna have to schedule this debate between Tickle Dick and Cockhair and anybody else who might email us and let us know. How can they email us, Dustin?
They can email us at backtalkus, BACC Talk US @gmail.com.
Yeah, if you think you can take over the fan club, the BACC, because this is going to be the fan club of podcasts. I guarantee you, it's going to be bigger than any other fan club across Podcast Nation. Right? It's going to be us because we have grown to the point in a small amount of time, very small amount of time, that Dustin's getting recognized just going to a wedding, right? So, this fan club, if you want to be the president of the backpack, let us know. Email us, and let us know. And Justin, just out of curiosity, how could they do that?
Passenger pigeon.
Oh, maybe?
They're bringing those back.
Are you trying to make me angry?
No, obviously you would send an email because that's what you do in today's life. And that would be backtalkus@gmail.com. To spell it out, back is BACC, talk is talk, and us is US, like the United States. So it works in both ways. In case we get in case there's you ever think about this? There'd be like a BACC Talk Australia, you know?
I mean, who the fuck knows? There could be back talk everything, because apparently everybody else spelled back BACC too, which I didn't know.
Send your emails to backtalkau. And it probably wouldn't be .com. I don't know. Is that like something else? Something else. We don't know.
.au.
.au. Yeah. Well, it would be backtalkau. .au.
But we're back talk us because we're in the U.S. and you're back talking us because we're back talking you. So
we would only need us. We would only need us if an Australian offshoot pretended to be us. They'd have to email us at backtalkusau.au.
Us AU.
Backtalk AU us, because we'd be Backtalk US. We don't need the.
So are we? So is your thought we need to franchise the podcast?
Yes. Let's talk to New Zealand and Australia because I can do those accents pretty good. And
Crikey.
We should get one in Ukraine.
Yeah. That's what
That'd be wild.
That's what we mean by we support Ukraine. We support Ukraine in franchising our idea.
Yeah, that'd be pretty wild, wouldn't it? Having a back talk podcast in Ukraine, be like, well, shit, the bomb just dropped 50 yards from us.
You wouldn't even have to tell them; they'd know.
Nah. Well, the camera shook again. Sorry.
Andy, there'd be four people, and the person that'd be in your spot, instead of dogs running around, it would just be like fucking bombings.
Yeah. It'd have no background.
Andy going, my fucking dog's going bananas. It'd be like, there's bombs are going off.
Well, and your fucking cat taking a shit picture would fall off the wall.
Yeah. Love it. That's great. Oh, you were talking about Kill Bill. This is I'm a big Tarantino fan, so that's Jackie Brown. If you remember, it was like.
Well, the best Tarantino film ever,
I'd like to hear
Reservoir Dogs.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, big fan. Big fan of all of them.
Well, we went over a lot of fucking shit again. A lot of talk about the possible impeachment, and I think we're going to have to talk to our couple candidates, and anybody who emails us might have to next time we get together have a debate, presidential debate for the back talk. So see about that. Talk again about OnlyFans and strip clubs. Do you guys like going to the strip club? Let us know. Hit us up at backtalkus@gmail.com. Bunch of other stuff. Let us know about Gotham. Tony wants to know about that. Anything else you want to talk about? Let us know. Give us just come on and tell us how you think Justin's a dumbass because he won't go to the strip club. How Money Guns is broke because apparently we haven't seen stacks of money lately.
Lost it all at the wedding this weekend.
he gave it all to the girl who recognized her, and because apparently she was. Apparently she was
4 hours one way, and it just drained my wallet.
Yeah, and apparently she was a stripper, so he gave her all his money. But hey, thanks to whoever that was that met Dustin. Fire us off an email. Let us know what you thought of Mr. Money Guns, and kind of on that. Let's go around the table here. Dustin, final thoughts, buddy.
A great show, guys. Been a great time. Happy 4th of July to everybody out there. Happy Independence Day. Enjoy the time with friends and family. Barbecues. I know Andy's going to be doing that, having a nice big barbecue coming up here. I know we're going to do the same here, fire off some fireworks and enjoy times with friends and family. But Just stay safe out there if you're lighting fireworks, doing whatever you are with the 4th, and hope to see you guys back here in 2 weeks.
Tony, final thoughts.
Yeah, still, it's been great, just hanging out with you guys. Everybody listening to us, we're happy you're enjoying our show and keep checking us out. So, yeah, just hit us up with all your ideas, questions, anything, comments, it doesn't matter. And, yeah, 2 weeks, we're going to get ready for hopefully this debate going on so we can get candidates ready and see what happens. So, yeah, just keep checking us out, guys.
And finally, the stripper hater.
Moo.
I just want everybody to do better. It's exciting when you're hooking up with somebody and they take off their clothes. I'm not against that.
I don't think anybody is.
And you get to peruse and go shopping, so to speak, and not get punched in the gut by some big bouncer for touching. Make sure you get a release signed either way because we are living in troubled times. Now, I want to thank everybody for watching. I like the shout-outs. I like that people are talking about the show. If you want to come strip on the show, that's cool. If that's what you want to do, we'll try to get your word out and
or your tits.
We'll get something out.
Yeah, we'll get something out. I couldn't get to it. You guys made me laugh beforehand. We'll get the word out, or we'll get something out. Depends on whatever. But now, I'll try not to hurt myself this week, and I'll keep thinking of stuff to make Andy angry for the next time we come on.
I guess that's my.
Honestly, what would have been perfect with that if you would have played the other way?
That's my cue?
I was going lower. We gotta get a happy note for Andy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking. It's got to be like Tinkerbell. Like
Tinkerbell's coming into play with us.
Just got an email from a stripper.
Incoming email.
That's the incoming. He itemizes it, so it's like this is when the stripper emails. And he's like, hold on a second.
Yeah, I got it. That's priority for sure. I want to piggyback on these guys and thank everybody for listening on Apple, Spotify, wherever you're getting your podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us on the YouTube. Don't know how long we're going to be on this YouTube. We'll probably put the stripper on here and pull it. But
Go out with a bang.
That's right. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Literally.
Yeah, we're going to be back in 2 weeks. We're going to take the holiday off. Spend some time with family and friends. I got a big party going on in my house over 3 days. Lots of people crashing at my house. I believe Tony's coming to blow my house up on the 4th. So we're going to try not to die from Tony's explosives. I hope everybody be safe out there. Use the fireworks. Just be safe about it. Enjoy yourself, right? Don't shoot them at your friends. Although if I had a Roman candle right now for Justin hating the strip clubs, I'd probably shoot one at him. Yeah.
That's a long shot.
Yeah, he's grabbing his tits again. He wants me to shoot a Roman candle right in his titty.
Man, giving you the bullseye.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to shoot you a Roman candle at the titties. But but everybody be careful out there. Enjoy yourselves, but be careful. No drinking and driving. I'm going to be at the racetrack for 2 days and then big ass barbecue at the house. Said got a bunch of people coming over. Going to be a good time. Sorry my compadres other than Tony on this show won't be joining me for any part of the weekend. But we'll do it soon. Hopefully, all of us together. And until then, guys, let's send it off the right way. Enjoy your holiday. Happy 4th of July to everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks. And tits up.